a cool Yorkshire Dales, Lizzie from Old Tupton, Carolyn from North Yorkshire, Eileen from Whitstable. It's always lovely, isn't it? All these people coming in from all over the place. And Susan from Italy. Nice. Lovely to see you all. Nat in Nottingham, Carolyn Guildford, Magdalena in Croatia. And Utah, Jennifer from Cottonwood Heights in Utah. And Fleur from Amersfoort, Christine from Shrewsbury, Margie from Skirmet, Penny from Broadbottom, and Penny saying, so glad to have joined this group last week. So maybe last week was your first time, Penny, so welcome back. And Simon, always lovely to be here from Surrey. Good, okay. So here we all are. I think we might start. It's 1 minute past the hour. Might have a few more people joining us, but they can just connect in. So yes, I was wondering what to do this evening. And oh, look, we've got someone saying it's first time here. So before I go any further, really a special welcome to any of you who are here for the first time. And always wonderful to welcome new people into the group and wonderful to see our old friends because we've been doing this weekly since March 2020. Started at the beginning of the pandemic. So for those those of you that are new, you just need to follow along as best you can. I will lead the practice. So all you need to do is just rest into your experience and follow along. And when you wander off, which you almost inevitably will, that's what minds do, then you just invite your awareness back when you realize that you've got lost. Good, yes. So I was wondering what to do this evening. And here in the UK, we're definitely heading into autumn. It's feeling very kind of damp and wet and warm, quite warm today, but there's the damp. And for myself, living with a spinal injury, there's definitely a shift in energy. This kind of sense of everything being that little bit harder, more pain, more tiredness, and so on. And I'm thinking there's probably quite a lot of people here in that situation. So I thought this evening we'll do a practice where we rest into our experience with kindness and we find a middle way in relation to whatever difficulty we might be experiencing, a middle way between feeling overwhelmed and denial or avoidance, because both overwhelm and denial lead to extra suffering. They lead to more strain, more suffering. And if we can learn to just open to experience without either pushing it away or falling into it, then we're able to examine its nature and realize that rather than the pain or the fatigue or whatever it is being like this big lump, that actually it's fluid like water. So we can rest in the flow of experience. So I thought that's what we'd do tonight. And if there's anyone here who hasn't got any discomfort at all, mentally, emotionally, or physically, then that's wonderful to hear. And just enjoy that. You don't need to go generating anything difficult. If I'm inviting us to let in that side, if you're having an absence of that at the moment, then enjoy that. And you can bring the same reflections on the fluidity of everything to your pleasant experience. Very often with pleasant experience, we grab hold of it because we want it to last. And that also leads to extra suffering, as I'm sure you can imagine. Good. Okay. So what we want to do to begin with is just to settle. So you can do the practice sitting, you can do it lying down, you could do it standing, you could even do slow walking up and down the room. But I'll lead it as if you're sitting or lying and just adapt it if you're choosing some other position. But the main thing we're looking for is to be as relaxed and comfortable as possible and yet alert. That's the criteria. So you could close your eyes if you find that comfortable, or you could lower your gaze. It's up to you. And let's just begin to settle. Let the body rest into the position that you've chosen. And feeling the weight of the body resting down into the chair, into the bed, into the floor. And I like to make this distinction between perching on top of the surface that's supporting us and yielding into it. And see if you can yield into it. So letting go of gripping, letting go of holding on, and allowing the body to be held and supported. Surrendering to gravity. And seeing if we can have a quality of yielding and releasing rather than collapsing. It's a very subtle distinction, but an interesting one. So we're yielding, releasing, and yet there's still this kind of hum of vitality within us. Hum of alertness within us, even as we settle and rest. So in a sense, we're allowing the earth to receive us and the planet to hold us. And I've had some words of a poem going through my mind today, which I thought I'd share with you. I find this very, very beautiful. It's called Late Fragment by Raymond Carver. And did you get what you wanted from this life? Even so, I did. And what did you want? To call myself beloved, to feel myself beloved on the earth. I'll say that again. And did you get what you wanted from this life? Even so, I did. And what did you want? To call myself beloved, to feel myself beloved on the earth. I really love those lines. To call myself beloved, to feel myself beloved on the earth. So as we rest into the position that we've chosen, let's see if we can also rest into an attitude or a felt sense of kindness, tenderness, even love. So our awareness isn't cool and aloof and watching, but our awareness is inside and it's warm and it's kind and emotionally engaged. And this earth that's holding us, it doesn't judge whether we think we're good or bad, in pain or not in pain, happy, sad. The earth just receives without prejudice, without bias. So allowing ourselves to be received into the sense of love and care. So let's allow awareness to fill the body. Often awareness, we can feel like awareness is located in the head. Well, let's imagine that awareness is pouring out of the head to fill the body. So first of all the way down inside the legs and the feet. And seeing if we can rest inside the legs and the feet directly rather than thinking about them as an idea. So feeling sensation, temperature, intensity or numbness. Unpleasant sensations or pleasant sensations or a mixture of both. and feel into how the sensations are changing. Never exactly the same one moment to the next. They flow into awareness, they flow out of awareness, moment by moment. Coming to the buttocks. We're sitting or lying, seeing if we can let the buttocks be soft as they yield into the chair or the bed. As we soften in this area, we may notice that the breath drops a little bit deeper in the body. The body begins to soften a little bit more. Letting the legs fall away from the hips as we rest here. And allowing awareness to pour up into the whole torso. Front, back, sides, inside, surface. Coming a little closer, let's rest inside the belly. Soft front of the body between the pelvis at the bottom, the base of the ribs at the top. Maybe noticing or feeling breathing in the belly, a very gentle swelling on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath, being very careful not to force or strain. Just being with your experience right now, with kindness. And the chest area. Ribs, lungs, breastbone. Opening phase on the in-breath, subsiding phase on the out-breath. And allowing our awareness to rest inside the movements and sensations of breathing. The ribs, lungs, breastbone rising and falling. Always checking that we're keeping the buttocks soft, staying grounded. Allowing awareness to pour into the back of the body. So first of all, the lower back. The buttocks are soft, and then our awareness pouring up into the lower back, into the length and breadth of the lower back. Maybe breathing is echoing down into the lower back. It's broadening on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath. Don't worry if you can't feel anything. But being aware of the possibility of the lower back receiving the echo of breathing, being rocked and massaged. and the middle back and the upper back of the lungs, back of the ribs, shoulder blades, spine, all being breathed. All taking place as breathing taking place in this body that's resting and yielding into the support beneath us. Shoulders and the arms and the hands. Letting the hands be supported. We're sitting either in the lap or on the legs. If we're lying down either on the body, palms downwards, or at the sides of the body, palms upwards, it's up to you. But position the hands in such a way that it's going to allow the shoulders to release. Letting the shoulders fall away from the midline of the body and letting the arms fall away from the shoulders. And letting awareness pour down inside the shoulders, arms, hands, so they're drenched and saturated in awareness. Quality of touch in the hands, and then warmth or coolness in the hands and the arms, contact with the clothes, maybe buzzing, tingling, maybe discomfort, maybe pain, maybe pleasure. Allowing everything to flow into awareness, flow out of awareness with each moment. We receive, we let go, we receive, we let go. And letting our awareness now pour up through the arms, through the shoulders, into the neck and the head and the face. We're sitting, letting the head be poised on top of the spine, the chin tucked in just a tiny bit. So there's a release through the base of the skull and yet openness in the throat. If we're lying down, can you let your head be fully held by the pillow or the cushion? No need to grip or hold on. Letting the face be soft, the jaw soft, lips, tongue soft, cheeks soft, eyes soft, forehead soft. And imagine the brain inside the head is soft and at rest. And let's broaden our awareness now to be aware of the whole body. Legs, torso, arms, neck, head, face. and seeing if we can experience it as a connected flow, and a cloud of sensations in the whole body flowing through the moments. So rather than thinking we're meditating on a body as a static, solid thing, we're resting inside this much more fluid and open experience of ourselves. Now let's be sensitive to any areas of resistance in our experience, anything that we're hardening against a little bit, anything that feels painful. Just seeing if we can soften a little bit around this experience and let it into awareness a little bit more, very, very gently, with an attitude of kindness, tenderness, love, and care. And seeing if we can find this little sweet spot that's a middle way between denial and overwhelm. We get overwhelmed. In the noticing, we can broaden our awareness to be aware of the whole body, be aware of sounds, maybe open the eyes a little bit, look around. And if we feel hard and stuck, is a blocking, and just very, very gently breathe into that area and soften and breathe and soften, release and soothe. And if it works for you, you can imagine or have a felt sense of the breathing being kindly. It's like the in-breath is a conduit for kindness and the out-breath is a conduit for kindness. Responding to our own experience the way we'd naturally respond to a loved one having this experience. Checking out the buttocks are soft, the hands soft, the face soft. The body soft. The heart soft, the mind soft. What's happening now? If you've got lost, then without any harsh judgment, in the noticing, you're not lost, and you can choose to come back inside the body, inside experience. tender, kindly, loving, and seeing if we can rest in the flow of experience without either suppressing or getting lost. Seeing if our experience can be more like a river than a rock as we rest here. Maybe we'll find that there's a subtle form of pleasure in relating to our experience in this way. So even if we've got difficulty, when we engage with it with this tender, kindly, fluid quality of awareness, that in itself can be pleasurable, spacious, a relief. So just seeing what your experience is, and of course, if it's not pleasant, that's fine as well. Just being with whatever's happening in the light of awareness, the light of kindness. And did you get what you wanted from this life? Even so, I did. And what did you want? To call myself beloved, to feel myself beloved on the earth. Now we're going to begin to bring the meditation to a close very gently. So externalizing awareness, being aware of sounds, smells, the environment. Bring a tiny bit of movement into the body, maybe fingers and toes, maybe hands, feet, maybe rocking a little. Noticing the impulse to immediately grip, embrace, and tense. Seeing if we can release around that, let our experience remain fluid and open. And when we're ready, coming into bigger movements. Stretching if you want to. Coming back to the screen when you're ready, if you want to. You could stay in the practice, of course. Oh, yeah, wonderful to practice with you all, and thank you so much for coming. And yeah, for those of you who are new, I always stay on a little bit at the end, and people write in the chat box what they noticed, if they want to, what their experience was in the meditation. And then I read those out, because we sometimes have people here for whom reading a chat box is difficult. And I always think it's nice for everybody not to have to squint at the screen. If you want to slip away, that's absolutely fine, of course, and we'll see you next week. And Shannon, who's our host today, who's very soon going to become head of marketing at Breathworks, the wonderful Shannon. She's put a couple of things in the chat box. The first one is, as I said last week, I'm starting another Heals course next Friday, the 25th, in the afternoons, 2 to 4 p.m. It's an 11-week program. One way you could describe it actually is holistic mindfulness or applied mindfulness. So it's applying mindfulness to nutrition, exercise, time in nature, love for self, love for others, sleep habits, all these kind of things. And this will be the last one that I'm going to be leading personally for quite a while. We'll have our senior teachers doing it after that. So if you want to do it with me, this is your chance. So if you're interested in that, you just put yes in the chat box, and then Shannon can send you further details. Just make sure that your name on your Zoom account is not just iPhone 3 or something like that, because that's difficult. So if you have your name and just put yes, Shannon will follow that up. Good. Okay. So Jackie, thank you, Vidyamala, for a lovely meditation. After a lot of stress this past week, I feel much comforted and soothed. That's very good to hear, Jackie. Joe, that was so helpful and great to be back. Thank you. And Joan saying thank you. Janice saying thank you to me and Shannon. Yeah, thank you so much, Shannon. So Mark's away for the next 6 weeks doing a Breathworks training. So Shannon's stepping in to do the tech support every week, which is really wonderful. So Kendra, such a beautiful practice. Thank you so much. I feel so soothed by this practice. And Lizzie, thank you. That was soothing. And the poem was lovely. And then Joe saying, I can highly recommend the Heals course. Yes, the Holistic Mindfulness course is called Heals. And Victoria, after a long road trip and a very bad cold, this was a healing balm for mind, body, and spirit. Thank you. So I'm very sorry to hear about your long road journey and cold, Victoria, but well done for coming anyway. And I'm glad that was helpful. And Margie, thank you so much. A great first practice with you all. So yeah, really warm welcome to you, Margie, and thanks for coming. Joe, thank you for the gentle and kind meditation. Ruth, thank you, perfect for me tonight. Notice my breath move from the diaphragm down to my belly during the meditation, and my body relaxed. Yeah, very good. So the breath drops and the body relaxes. Bugs, so grateful for the space to ground and stabilize my being. Thank you, Vidyamala, Shannon, and Breathworks community. And Penny, the poem brought a tear to my eyes. I love that poem, and it's quite, it's satisfyingly short. So you can just kind of have it in your mind. Like today, I've just had it in my mind today. And did you get what you wanted from this life? Even so, to feel yourself beloved on the earth. It's beautiful. And Magdalena, being in depth of peace, beloved by it. And Susan, thank you very much. I feel much softer. Angela, love the poem, love the practice. Susan, thank you for this beautiful meditation and reminding me of the kindly breath. And Alison, thank you for first practice. I think you must be a first person here as well. So really big welcome to you. Kalpana, thanks Vidyamala for this beautiful space. I want to dedicate this practice to my friend and teacher, Kamala Sheila, who passed away, sending lots of love and warm wishes. Yes, Kamala Sheila is a senior teacher in our tradition, our Buddhist tradition, Triratna, and he died maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that, very bravely and nobly by all accounts. So yeah, thanks for that, Kalpana. And Marta, the poem made me cry. I'm not sure I have been beloved, but so wise to think about why. And Odette, thanks Vidyamala, reminding us that we can find kindness in the discomfort and sometimes even in the despair, coming back to the beloved. And Magdala's saying, can we find the poem? Yes, if you just Google this, you'll find it. I'll put it in the chat box. It's called Late Fragment by Raymond Carver. So for copyright reasons, we can't include the whole poem, but if you just Google it, you'll find it. That's what I did just before. Late Fragment. Even that's a gorgeous title, isn't it? Late Fragment. Excellent. Okay, so that's the end of the comments. Looks like quite a lot of yeses for interest for this course, so that's really great. Thank you. And you'll hear from Shannon in the next few days about that. And then Uhura is saying, much needed today. Beautiful. Thank you. And I must say, I'm feeling a lot better for practicing with you all and doing this. It's not really work, is it? Doing this sort of exquisite dance of awareness or something, of being willing to just be with what is rather than wishing for something different when that's not what is right now. That's not what is here right now. But then, of course, by attending in the right kind of way, it does change and soften, and there can be this kind of exquisite pleasure in the heart of discomfort. It's so interesting and so mysterious. Good. So lovely. Thank you all so much for coming. And thank you as well, Shannon, for being here. And see you all next week. Wonderful. Can you let people unmute, Shannon? So they can.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.